Jeopardy! Host Ken Jennings has claimed he just wrapped another major TV series. Fans expressed widespread confusion about whether or not the star was expanding beyond hosting the game show. Ken, 48, tweeted on Sunday, "I was a dialect coach on Rings of Power and it was one of the hardest jobs of my life." He added the gig entailed teaching people to talk regular, but say more got real weird. The TV star, hosting Jeopardy! Episodes airing until January when mayim bialik, 46, will switch in, didn't make it clear if he was serious. The iconic game show currently only tapes twice a week, or 5 episodes in a day. Fans were quick to reply, as some were left scratching their heads. One person reacted, "Wait, really? I second this," wrote another, agreeing it was unclear if this was the real deal. "Oh my god, what? This is so cool," wrote a third, believing the TV personality. Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power streaming on Amazon Prime is the 2022 prequel to the beloved movie and book series set thousands of years earlier in Middle-earth. Per IMDb, Ken is not listed as a dialect coach in the credits. Ken's comedy show that wasn't. Dual host mayim balances hosting duties with her Fox sitcom Call Me Kat. Alum Ken, who still holds the game show's longest streak ever with 74 wins, mainly focuses on the show that made him famous. However, in 2005, 1 year after Ken won $2.5 million and became a household name, he announced a series for Comedy Central. Ken Jennings vs. the World sadly never saw the light of day but nearly did. "I've been in love with game shows as far back as I can remember," Ken said in its press release. "So the chance to do this show, along with Michael Davis and Comedy Central no less, is like a dream come true for me." The show is set to be produced by the man who in 2021 became the executive producer of Jeopardy! Davis took over after former EP Mike Richards, who even tried to nab the host gig from Ken, but was ousted as the game show's top boss for unearthed sexist comments. Ken has written a few books instead, including one called Planet Funny. Davis and Richards followed 20-year-long executive producer Harry Friedman, whose crowning achievement was lifting the 5-game win cap from the show in 2003. Before then, any champ who won that many games took their earnings and bowed out with a new car, going directly to the Tournament of Champions instead of winning until they lost. 1 year later, Ken hit the small screen when he was a 30-year-old Utah-based software engineer and the rest is history. The game show just wrapped its 2022 tournament, 21 power players entered and 40-time winner, the second highest count after Ken, Amy Schneider took the $250,000 title. Over the summer, Ken and mayim were officially announced as the permanent replacements of the late Alex Trebek who had graced TV screens since 1984. Ken Jennings may be one of the most recognizable faces in quiz show history, but this week he's leaving fans scratching their heads for an entirely different reason. In a surprising revelation that had social media buzzing, the current Jeopardy! Host casually mentioned that he had been working on a huge TV series outside of his duties on the iconic trivia show, and viewers aren't quite sure what to make of it. The comment came during a recent interview for a streaming platform's behind-the-scenes documentary about the golden age of TV game shows. While reminiscing about his journey from contestant to host, Jennings threw in an unexpected detail. "It's been a busy year," he said with a grin. "Between hosting Jeopardy! And working on this other big TV series, I've barely had time to sleep." Almost instantly, Jeopardy! Fans took to social media to voice their confusion. The question on everyone's mind was simple: what big TV series? A mystery in the making? Jennings did not elaborate during the interview, and no official announcement has been made about him joining or producing another series. Given that he's already juggling a demanding shooting schedule for Jeopardy! Taping multiple episodes a day for months on end, the idea that he's moonlighting on another huge project left fans both baffled and intrigued. On Reddit, one user speculated, "Maybe he's writing for something? He's an author and trivia guy, so maybe it's a docuseries or something in the history/education space." Another fan joked on X, formerly Twitter, "Ken Jennings secretly filming House of the Dragon Season 3 and between Final Jeopardy! Clues is my new favorite mental image." The timing raises questions. Part of the confusion stems from the fact that Jennings took over hosting duties full-time after the departure of mayim bialik late last year. Many fans assumed that meant his professional life would be entirely devoted to the game show, especially given how much behind-the-scenes work the job requires. One longtime viewer wrote, "It's not like Jeopardy! Is a side gig. How is he finding the time for another series? Are they cloning Ken now?" Some theorize the project could be something already filmed months ago, possibly during a break in the Jeopardy! Production schedule. Others believe he may be lending his voice or expertise as a consultant, which wouldn't require daily filming. A history of side projects. This isn't the first time Jennings has stepped outside the quiz show world. Since his record-breaking 74-game winning streak on Jeopardy! In 2004, he's authored multiple books, appeared on The Chase and Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and even voiced himself on The Simpsons. He's also contributed to online trivia competitions and written essays for magazines. Given that background, it's not entirely surprising that Jennings might be involved in something unexpected. Still, his wording, "huge TV series," made it sound like a high-profile, possibly scripted project rather than a small guest appearance. Could it be a streaming giant? Some fans are now scouring production rumors, looking for clues. Netflix, Apple TV+, and Amazon Prime Video are all reportedly working on high-budget educational and documentary series, genres that would make sense for Jennings' expertise. A fan on a Jeopardy! Facebook group shared. "I heard rumors Netflix is doing a global trivia competition show with big-name hosts from different countries. Ken could be the US rep. That would fit the huge description." There's also speculation that Jennings might be narrating or appearing as an on-screen expert for a historical miniseries, similar to how Neil deGrasse Tyson appears in science programming. The double-duty host dilemma. What's puzzling fans the most isn't necessarily that Jennings has other work, it's how he's managing to keep up with Jeopardy! While doing it. Filming for the game show is famously condensed into marathon days, but the preparation, research, and promotional work keep hosts busy even when cameras aren't rolling. Some are wondering if Jennings' mention of a huge series might mean he's preparing to scale back his Jeopardy! Commitments in the future. That possibility has already sparked debate, especially after the show has finally settled into a rhythm post-Trebek. "Ken has really grown into the role," one viewer tweeted. "I hope this doesn't mean he's thinking about leaving or splitting his time too much." Jennings keeps it playful. If Jennings noticed the swirl of online speculation, he hasn't shown it. Instead, he posted a cryptic message on X earlier this week. "Sometimes the Daily Double is in a category you weren't expecting." Fans immediately dissected the post, with some seeing it as a wink to his secret project and others viewing it as a light-hearted way to tease them. One fan replied, "Ken, you can't just drop a TV bombshell and then go all cryptic on us. This isn't Final Jeopardy! We need real answers." Industry insiders weigh in. Entertainment analysts note that cross-platform work is becoming more common, even for hosts of established shows. With streaming services looking for recognizable faces, popular TV personalities like Jennings are prime targets for casting. "Ken brings a combination of intellect, approachability, and humor," said media strategist Carla Mendez. "That works just as well in a scripted cameo as it does in a game show. The key is whether his contract allows for it and whether Jeopardy! Wants him associated with outside content." Could this be a marketing strategy? Some PR experts believe Jennings' vague statement may be intentional, a calculated move to stir buzz ahead of an official announcement. If you hint at something without giving details, you get two news cycles, one for the tease, and one for the reveal, explained publicity consultant Grant Holloway. Jennings is a smart guy. He knows how to keep people talking. If that's the case, it's working. In less than 48 hours, his comment has generated thousands of posts, trending hashtags, and even fan-made memes imagining Jennings in blockbuster roles. Fans wait for the answer. For now, Jeopardy! Loyalists can only speculate. Will Jennings appear in a dramatic Netflix series, lend his voice to a Disney Plus documentary, or pop up in a comedic cameo somewhere totally unexpected? Until he clarifies, the fandom remains split between curiosity and confusion. But if there's one thing Jeopardy! Viewers are used to, it's waiting for the right question to match the answer. As one Reddit user put it perfectly, "We're all just sitting here, buzzer in hand, waiting for Ken to finally call on us." Whether this mystery project turns out to be a trivia-related endeavor or something wildly different, it's clear Jennings still has the power to surprise his audience. After all, the man built his career on knowing the unexpected, and now, for once, it's the fans who are left guessing.